representative for WITED in Southern and Central Africa, especially looking at the gender aspect. We want to reach out to everyone within Zimbabwe, within Africa, Central and Southern Africa, so that we make sure that they all have access to STEM programs, that is the engineering, the mathematics programs. We want them as women to participate in engineering programs, in engineering industries. Like we were discussing earlier on, we want the woman to be relevant in industry because she is capable of doing that, but she needs the support for her to be able to make that contribution. So we want to go out there to do all the schools, Matabeleland South, Matabeleland North, Bulawayo, and then we go on to Manicaland. We also have representatives in those areas. Mashonaland East, Mashonaland South, all those areas have to be covered so that we access education to all the women in those areas.
So maybe you can give us a brief on what are some of the challenges which have been faced by ladies or women who want to partake in the STEM programs.
Our social norms have been the biggest challenge. When a girl child is in primary education, you notice that they are very good in mathematics and all those relevant subjects. But once they go to tertiary, you see their performance going down. And some get married, and because they are extra responsibilities now, they tend to lose conduct and they end up either dropping off or they fail because of extra responsibilities. So we are trying to look at how we can help them. How do we help them to make sure that they have that possibility of finishing their programs? If, for example, they are married, they have children, we facilitate that someone can take care of those children while they are at school so that they have a chance to finish their program. And we also try our best to make sure that once they finish, we give them enough information for them to be either absorbed in the industry or cause the industry, because we are there to make a difference as women and make sure that our work is felt within the industry.
Then maybe you might have to give us sort of...
Definitely seeing a difference. There is an increase in women wanting to do technical courses. I'll give an example of Flower Polytechnic. There is an increase of up to 10%, which we have noticed, of those who have graduated with technical courses. And our mandate now is to try and make sure that after graduation they become relevant. They just don't graduate and sit. We try and make sure that they do their own things or they get absorbed in the particular industry they have trained in.
Madam Sam Kundi, Takato Victoria from Tare Polytechnic, and representing Madam Watema, who is the principal of Tare Polytechnic. So I'm going to talk about the purpose. The purpose of WITED mainly is to empower the girl child, empower the women in technical institutions. Just as the word, the abbreviation says, women in technical education development. So mainly we want to encourage them to be bold, to take up, positions in management, to take up positions in society, in their communities, so that it all culminates to economic development. And then next, I'm going to talk about some of the challenges that women face and girls face, especially in technical education institutions. There are so many, culminating from the society, from cultural norms, from even economic activities themselves. They can actually discourage women from taking up certain technical courses. So you'd find that there is the aspect of stigmatization, where women are told they have to do this because it's for the women, and they have to leave the rest, the masculine stuff, for the boys. And we also have the aspect of stereotyping at work, in the workplace, where most people would think maybe the top positions in management, they're just meant for men. But it's not like that. We are, those are some of the challenges, yes. And also, you'd find even economically, in certain types of jobs, you find even in as much as they are working together having the same position, sometimes women are paid less than the men. So we are saying there's so many challenges. Even at home, you'd find the girl, for who she is physically, but we're saying they can also do the same things that men can do. We've been given a brain with five senses, all of us. God never said, I'm giving, the lady a different brain from the men because she's feminine. No, we are equal. We are equal, so they need to be supported, and we need to tackle down some of these challenges. And then advice to girls. Wow, with my success story, I said it just came out, I was just thinking out loud, and I realized this happened to me once. After college, I was a young girl, got married. You're like at the peak of your life. You want to start a career, and then all of a sudden, you are told, you are not supposed to work. I just want you to remain at home. This is something that even girls today are facing. But as us WITED, we are coming in and saying we can put a stop to it. As long as we are supporting them, we can put a stop to it. They need to be empowered to know that they've got another power, that they can use. Not to be above the men, no. Because as I said, I've been married to the same person for 16 years now, but I'm submissive to my husband at home. I'm submissive to him, I submit to him at home, but in the workplace, I'm me. You see, so it's not like we're trying to dominate the males. We're trying to dominate in our homes. No, but we're saying we have to work together. We have got to be at par. We are at par with them. Talk of the stories of Esther and all the Bible characters. You'd find they would be submissive to their elders, but at the same time they knew they had that boldness, to know who they are. So this is what we are saying to the girls. This is my advice, that girls have got to stand up for themselves, because individually in the home they'll be standing up as individuals. In as much as they are married, they have to stand up as individuals, not just for themselves, but even for the generations that they are going to raise as well. So Africa needs bold people. Madam Principal said that musha unovakwa nemukadzi. So we are building Africa, and we want a different mindset for our girls, to know that they can build a better Africa. Talk of the drugs and all that. The woman can play a role in changing the situation that we have today. So as for WITED, we are saying we can change what is happening. We can change the mindset of girls out there who are being discouraged, who are facing challenges, and be able to support them as an organization. Doing a lot. There's been doing a lot of strategic policies have been put in place to empower the women and even the girl child. For example, in our institutions, they've put in programs so as to allow more enrollment of the girl child. Talk of maybe the SMEs, talk of women organizations. A lot has been done. The government has been supporting women so much. But now we're saying we need to change the mindset of the women. How many of them are willing to take that path? So the rate that things are happening, it's a bit slow. In as much as the government would want to take us all on board, but us the women, we are being reluctant. And that's why we're saying we are coming in so as to encourage the women to be bold enough to stand up and take all these, go into these strategic policies, regulations that have been set by our government.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, as Harare Polytechnic, we are really pushing towards maybe encouraging the girl child to take up STEM courses. You'll find out we actually have a policy in our enrollment of maybe making sure that we've got 50-50 enrollment in STEM engineering or in STEM and engineering disciplines. We are also looking at introducing these girl students or female students to some organizations that encourage or advocacy into women advancement. For example, in the engineering disciplines, we have introduced our students to women in engineering, so they can actually register into the women in engineering disciplines, and looking at even in that organization they can actually now be registered as women engineers even at their level, whether be it NC, NDH, and DS they go on. So we are exposing them to some of the organizations like that, although there's still more we can do in terms of looking at other organizations that advocate for women empowerment. You'll find out that our ministry is also empowering women in terms of the leadership roles. If we look at most of the institutions, mainly maybe if I look at polytechnics and industrial training institutions, teachers' colleges, we've got a number or a big number now of representation of women in the leadership roles. So we are saying our ministry again is actually advocating for women empowerment, and we can actually see that from what is pertaining at the moment.
Thank you.